Namaste everybody. Hello. How are you? I am absolutely excited and I have right next to me a wonderful fabulous guest that I want to introduce to all of you all and then ask her a lot of questions. And I'm going to talk to her about today's theme that is going to be flawless English. And the best part is that is something that I am thriving and trying. Very soon I will have Kalpagam Prabhakar on board. And once my team confirms that she's also on live with me, and then we will take it forward. Okay, we're good and back in action. Okay, lovely. So I have Kalpagam Prabhakar right next to me here, and very soon I'm probably hoping that she is also going to be on the screen. And yeah, stay till the entire session and make sure you ask your questions. This discussion is extremely specific for all those parents who want to see your children or the child have fabulous, flawless English. I know that English was introduced by the Britishers to make sure that they break our culture and break our bonds, break our unity, because India was absolutely in a fantastic shape when we communicated in our own languages. And even today, I see a lot of people equating their confidence to the level of clarity that they have in English. These are some of the questions that I really want to ask Kalpagam. And even before that, keep posting your comments right under this particular video, and if I can get your eyes on those comments, I'm definitely gonna ask her these questions. And to begin with, you must know who is Kalpagam Prabhakar. She's with Achieve for more than a decade now, and I'm extremely delighted to have her in Achieve, and that is because of her smile. Yeah, you got that right. Not because of her English, but because of her smile. Because of her English, Achieve is transforming. We'll discuss how we're reaching there. But at this point of time, she's a special educator, extremely inclusive by nature. She's got tons and tons of experience of teaching. She conducts a lot of trainings for Achieve School teachers on how to teach in the classroom and teaching strategies. She heads the English department. She's the HOD of English, and she meticulously works with every lesson plan at Achieve. And she handles grade 10, and she teaches 10th standard children English, which every child absolutely loves her. And more than all of this, why is she here? Like I told you, she's here because of her smile. And this is my first, interview on Instagram with her. I'm extremely blessed, delighted, excited, and any other good abstract that you can think of. I'm feeling that right now because I'm about to ask her a lot of questions on the subject that is very delicate for me, because if you ask me anything in math, I can, but this is a tricky subject. So my first question to Kalpagam out there, and while I look at her for her responses, go out and shoot some hearts and thumbs ups if you want to with your comments. So Kalpagam,
Namaste, Pavan.
thank you very much for this, and I'm very happy. No,
I'm
thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Thank you. So my first question, what comes to your mind when you hear these two words, flawless English?
Um, to express yourself, I mean, communicate in words which are very appropriate and get through to the other person in a very meaningful way.
Mhm. And can I ask you some questions about your childhood? I
Absolutely.
mean, school is a place where most of them pick up their perceptions and beliefs towards life, towards learning, which also lands up giving a lot of results in their life later. Good schooling, great results. So I really want to know about your schooling. And did that have a major role in we discussing this theme called flawless English?
Yes. I have to go a long way back if I were to talk
Please,
about my
please go
school.
ahead.
I started schooling in a place called Adamkur. Now, Adampur is known for its Air Force camp, and we were there during the 1965 Air Force War, and I started schooling there. That I was 6 years old, and then we didn't have kindergarten in those days, so I was admitted in the first grade. And in the camp life was very interesting one. Very enchanting, in fact. So what would happen is you would have these air marshals, air vice marshals, commodores, all of them coming and giving speeches. And the way they were dressed, the way they would carry themselves, how. And amongst the armed forces, I think Air Force is one of the very suave kind of group. So when they used to come and speak, because I was staying in the camp, I would sneak into that room, auditorium, and I would stand behind and I would look.
Right.
I mean, I was so enchanted with the way they spoke. That was the first time I heard English, more of English.
Right.
So they used to speak in a very formal way. Then it was amazing. So I always associated English with looking good, being in the top, and being very elite and being liked by people. So that's how I formed, kind of one towards English.
I have a question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please.
Is it elite or elite?
Elite?
Both are
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. I used to use this as a very big defense conflict. I always used to. I struggled with English. Though I was from an English medium school, I was absolutely comfortable in speaking in the mother tongue, which is Telugu. And the struggle was so much and so forth that I have to tell everybody in the audience that the Britishers destroyed India for like 300 years. I decided to destroy their language forever. Okay.
You
But
are
that's
good,
not-
Pavan. I think I was
that's not-
underplaying yourself.
No, it is definitely that I had to really pick and work myself. But I was so, intrigued. Tell me a little more about your schooling.
So then what happened? But then in school, it was more of Hindi because that was in Punjab, and it was more of Hindi. So I used to wonder why am I not learning English, in this kind of English in school. I didn't know back then that kind of English is going to take so many years to come.
Okay.
I mean, I thought, that's how it is taught. Then we moved to a place called Kakinada. In Kakinada, I studied in one of the, best schools, best convent. Here, I think I must tell you about my mother. She was a grand old lady, great dreams for her children. So she wanted all of us to speak English the English way. She also,
The English
Yeah.
way. I like that. Okay.
what she associated English with was also with what I associated English. She thought English means you look good, you'll be accepted in the society, people will look up to you, and all those things. So she thought that her children should speak English. Though we are from a middle class family, my father was a squadron leader in the Air Force, and 4 children. So it was a little difficult, but then she put us in a convent. Or 3 of us used to go to the convent. It was called Red Convent. Actually, it's called St. Joseph's Convent.
Okay.
The Telugu people called it Blue Convent because we used to wear blue uniform.
Okay.
So then what happened, that was run by the French missionaries. You know how the French are, very good looking nuns. And again, I found, 2 or 3 people who, when they talk, it would be like, Shakespeare coming to life or, Thomas Hardy coming to life. It used to be like that. So I used to stand and watch them speak. And their prayers were, so chaste that I was very enthralled by it. So I used to stand there, look at them and things like that. There I picked up a lot of good English because those nuns were very good, especially in English grammar. So once you master grammar, automatically your language improves. One thing I want to tell you, said that the British came and then they destroyed our country. All that is right, but the British gave us a foreign language. Now, to the parents out there and teachers, I would like to tell that just children are learning a foreign language. Let's look at it like that. Now we go learn French, we go learn German, we go learn, Mandarin and all those things. English, we get it for free in all the schools. And we're learning a foreign language. And when you learn a foreign language, you speak it the way the foreigners speak. So you speak English the way the Englishman will speak. So that's what I believed. Then we moved to Chennai. From there, that was another turning point. I had a teacher called Lakshmi Narayan, who was my English teacher. Because of him, I took English as an elective. Back then, it was the higher secondary, and then we had 12th standard. That was the last batch. And after 12th, we would go to college. So what I did in the ninth standard, we had to choose the electives. So in ninth, I chose English as the electives, and from there, no looking back. So it was like English was growing on to me. You ask me how or why, I won't be able to explain it to you.
How or why? Okay.
I really don't know. To this day, I don't know. But then it sort of grew on to me. And, he was the one who introduced me to Shelley, to Keats, to Byron, to Tennyson. He would ask me to read all their poems. More than prose, he would say read poetry. So he motivated me. Then, of course, when I went to college, I took English. Then we had pure English. So we didn't have English, history, economics combination and all that.
Okay.
We had pure English. English literature, social history of England, because we need to know the history of English. And then we had the literary forms. Then we had phonetics. Then we had linguistics. So everything was only English. So you can understand how.
So should I make an assumption of this kind of a standard that you met the right set of people at the right time in your life to get the right, understanding of a language or a concept? Would that be fair enough for me to say that?
I had amazing teachers, amazing lecturers. Each one of them left a mark, in me towards English. Like if it was Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, he would always, sort of raise my benchmark. Right. One thing I would like to tell you, this is very funny. It was Robert Southey's poem, which I had to go and recite on stage. You know me, I'm not a stage person at all. So I went there and I floundered. Then I cried and then I walked down the stage. That day I decided, even if I don't speak well, I will see to it that I'll make people go up and speak. That's how I'm going to influence them. Of course, I got a lot of shelling from him because he thought I'm the best. You can go and deliver that. But I still think about that, and my friends even now make fun of me quoting that.
So I have a couple of questions here, Khan.
Yes.
Now, not necessarily every child meets fabulous teachers, the French nuns, or the Air Force marshals, or a teacher like Lakshmina. I think you have all a combination of all the three in you, because at Achieve, I have heard a lot of 10th standard children saying 3-4 things the minute you start handling 10th English for them. Dharam doesn't give marks just like that. She wants us to speak well, not just write well. And she will cut marks even for a small thing. I'm really happy that we're setting a very high standard. And I want you to really become a little more aware that you are becoming a version of what your teachers were for you, for all the kids at Achieve.
Yes, Pavan, you're right. I will share another incident with you. From 11th grade, I went to college. Very naive, very naive person, not like how the students are these days. So when I went there was a young lecturer. She must have been 23, 24, just 2-3 years ahead of us.
Right.
And the first essay which I wrote was something about democracy. I don't remember the whole thing. And I was in school, I was the best. And then Mr. Lakshmi Narayan said, you're the best. So I always felt, okay, I'm the best. So I wrote. And then when she gave the paper, she gave me a big, not a small C, big C. And she flung it at me like that. And then she looked at me and said, your language is very shaky. Heat up. So, then I knew that, it's nice when somebody gives you a feedback like that. Initially, I cried. I was feeling very bad. All these years of whatever I did, just vanished in that moment. But then I pulled myself up and I said, okay, this lady must give me an A+. Now, how do I do it? And in those days, of course, like how you have now, we didn't have gadgets. Technology was not there. So it was only reading.
I really want everyone to make a note of this, that there was less technology. There was more reading. There's more books. There's more of reading. And she took it as a challenge. especially those of you who are watching this, instead of getting into your own shell and complaining that you don't have great English for yourself, I think what we can learn from her story is that when she got a C, her mind had probably an internal dialogue of whatever that was, but she decided that she wants to show the same person or the same place or the same space with an A plus. Mark that, because that is the most important thing sometimes, is what I feel. Why did you think like that?
See, I wanted to ace English. So I thought, I'm the best. I've been endorsed so long that I'm the best. And then I come here and then in front of everybody, you get, I was young, it's hardly 18, 19 years old. And I felt very, humiliated.
Right.
So what I did was I went back, I didn't give up. I went back and I researched. In those days, we had British Council. 25 rupees was the yearly contribution fees which you paid. Now, my parents only gave, luckily, my fiance, he paid for me. He paid for me. And from my house, it was about 15 kilometers, Pavan. Just to take a bus and go there. My mother used to, give shellings every day. You're coming late. This is not how a girl should. Those were the days. But then every day I would go to British Council, look into books, books after books after books. Till 7:38, I would hang on. Then my dad would come and pick me up on book. My dad is very supportive. So he would come and pick me up on book. I learned English the very hard way. Very, very hard way. It didn't come easy. Now you punch a button and then, hook on to ChatGPT and then, you get, it was not like that.
Agreed.
We had a lot of thinking to do. We had a lot of skimming and scanning to do. And then, derive at whatever you want. So it was a difficult prospect.
So with that kind of a journey where you challenged a teacher, where you started your journey with the the army or the armed personnel, and then you met some great teachers, French nuns, the convent. When you put all of these together, you're getting in great set of an experience where your mother also wanted you to have that kind of an
Yes.
English. My question here is, where are these children going wrong today, and what is a message for the Gen Z parents or the next generation parents who want their children to have flawless English? Everybody wants to have their kids speak good English or flawless English. Where do you think they're going wrong? What should they do, and how should they course correct themselves?
I don't think they're going wrong. Maybe they should be guided in the right way.
Okay.
Now, reading is a very good habit. But what we generally do as teachers, as parents, when a student picks up a book or a child picks up a book and starts reading, we say, have a book by your side. Take a pencil, pick up the dictionary, write down the hard words, and then find their meaning. That is one. Immediately you'll put the student off of reading. He'll hate reading, I'm telling you. So the best way is to let them find the contextual meaning for whatever they're reading. Please, as parents, do not ask them to take a book and write the meaning of each and every word which they have not come across so far. That's going to be very stressful. Let them read. Maybe you read along with them and then let them find their own meaning into what they read. Maybe initially they'll find it difficult, but by and large, they'll come to it. That is one thing which parent can do at home. One is they can read aloud with them.
Okay.
See, nowadays there are not many parents who are not educated or who don't know English. Very few of them. So they can read along with them. Now, another thing which I would like to tell you is the quality time. We say we're spending quality time. How are we spending quality time? We take them to eateries. We take them to movies. That is quality time. Maybe we go and buy a lot of things for them and all that.
It's more of spending money, materialistic entertainment is
Yes.
becoming quality time.
Yes.
Right.
So to me, a quality time is a time when you can sit and read aloud with your student, child, when you can model reading to them. So first thing, how do we learn our own language? Modeling. Intlo matladutunnaru, so you also pick it up. Right. Like that. I'm not saying mother tongue is very important, Pound. Even psychologically also it is proved that the student or the child who speaks mother tongue very well will speak all other languages.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying don't give up. I mean, give up mother tongue. It is not necessary. My parents didn't speak English at all.
Lovely.
So what I'm saying is have a stipulated time, like you have dinner time. During dinner time, maybe you can sit and talk to them in English. Pick that up, give it to me, pass it over. Take this, please take this. Fetch water. We don't use those words at all. Fetch, we don't use.
Right.
So fetch water for me.
Mhm.
All this you could talk to them, and maybe you can have it in the playground where you're talking to them. Have one particular time. Maybe you assign a time in a day, and then you have a conversation in English with the student. That itself will do. More than that, other than that, maybe you can model reading. People are reading at home. Automatically, they'll pick up the habit of reading.
So my big question to all of you who are watching this particular live, how many of you read? How many of you read with your children? And how many of you model reading? So you can't have a phone on your hand and just get carried away and
Yeah.
expect the child to read. Obviously, yes, in this era of technology, the kind of influence that internet has, I'm not telling you go off the phone. Probably when you use the phone, you can use your phone, but there must be some time where you actually read, you actually upgrade, you actually learn, and that's when the next generation would like to learn. I mean, I would fully like to completely acknowledge that particular part. Uh, Other thoughts that come to my mind, Kalpagam, at this point of time. Now, when you say read books, let's say there is a first generation parent who is not able to speak English at all at home, right? Then what happens?
See, then it is only guided reading. So what do? You sit there, you read in your language, you read Telugu, you read Kannada, you read Tamil, but you pick up a book. Make a place for yourself.
Right.
Sit with your child and you read. Tamil, he will read English. And while reading, please do not, people who already know to read, do not get into the, realm of correcting the child.
True.
You give them
Got it.
leverage to read. That reading is different. Comprehension is different. Don't
Right.
go to comprehension immediately. Just go to reading. Even if the pronunciation is wrong or the meaning is wrong, don't correct them at that point of time. Later, you can note the words down, put it up somewhere in the bulletin board at home, and then write the correct meaning and maybe the pronunciation also. The connotations are
Right.
there in the
Right.
dictionary. You can find out. You can do that. Instead of that, if you start correcting them,
Right.
they lose the interest in reading. So parents who don't know to read English can still be models for them. They can sit with them, they can read, or when they are doing some work, they can read. They can ask the student to read, and then suddenly they can ask, what do you call this in English? Maybe the
Right.
tongs. What do you call this in English? What do you call that in English? So they can pick up a conversation slowly, and then
So,
leverage
so
the child.
here, to what extent? I mean, it's an extreme question that I'm asking. I will leave I will leave the audience for their own interpretation for this. But this is my personal question. To what extent can a child be made to sit and compulsorily read? It's like no option. You have to pick up the skill of reading books. Because what I notice is using a book or reading a book is now getting extremely limited to the day before the exam or a test. Otherwise, book is not a source of information anymore. There is YouTube, there is Instagram Reels, which can also stimulate a part of it. But if we have to revert back and say books are compulsory, to what extent can it be made mandatory?
I think you should never make it mandatory for a student to read.
Okay.
Or for a child to read. Nothing mandatory. Sorry, I keep repeating student because I'm in this space for so many years.
Fully okay.
So you never force a child to read.
What if somebody just doesn't want to read? I know you don't want to force them. And obviously, I also spent 2 hours with children and I was just playing. Not one child was tired and everybody was like, can we have more of this? But the minute when it comes to reading, my guess is not all children, but some of them start looking at the clock. I have one friend who reads books to make sure that it is easy for them to sleep.
Huh.
So it's like, this particular person reads a book, gets drowsy and sleeps. So they use book only to get drowsy
Yes.
and sleep also. So why this association? Why is that somebody likes to play a lot more? That's why I'm using the word. How can we make it mandatory till they fall in love with reading, and then it takes over where they cannot stop themselves?
Um, what happens is now you see they see a lot of Peppa Pig it's called. Okay, Peppa Pig, and there is a new version. I think Peppa Pig is got a brother now. New version of it. So what I'm saying is now that is a TV serial, right?
Right.
You
Right.
have books also.
Mhm.
Peppa Pig.
Mhm.
Just buy and strew them around in the house.
Mhm.
Don't ask them to read. Just throw it around so that they go pick it up and they read. See, you have to keep at it. It is not that it's going to come easy to you or to the parent. It's going to be difficult. But if you strew the books around, find out what they're interested in, strew it around. If they're good at drawing, get some books related to drawing, get some books related to comic strips, and then strew it around. That is the only way where you can get them to read. Another thing is you must catch them very young. Now, after they are 10 or 12, it becomes a little difficult for you to get them into reading. Initially, reading to put them to sleep is a very beautiful idea.
Mhm.
Because what happens is the story is running in the mind of the child throughout the night. So next day again, night, he's ready for another story. So then what happens is he's very impatient and he wants to know the other part of it immediately. Then he'll go and read. He or she will go and read. That's how it happened at home also. I have a young granddaughter who reads vociferously, she will read. So we put her into that. When she was 8 months old, I used to hold her on my lap and then I used to read out to her. And, keep reading and then I read with an intonation.
I
With a lot of
really
drama.
want everybody to listen to that once again. When her granddaughter was 8 months old, she actually got her on her lap and started reading stories. That is the impact that
Yes.
can, really stimulate a lot of
Yes.
things, especially the young ones.
Yes.
Right?
Today we had a conversation with her, and then Tawfiq was also there. She was saying, I said, don't read so fast because we are not in a position to buy books. Percy Jackson, I think I sent one more load of 16,000 rupees books, to her to Australia. She's saying, no, what can I do, Patya? I have to read. I can't do without reading. So it becomes like that, second nature to them.
Right.
Because what you're doing is you're spreading a lot of curiosity, around the child. So he very curious they become. See, everything, every subject, only if you induce curiosity, they're going to learn.
Totally
So
agree.
the same as with reading also.
Hmm.
And parents should model.
Hmm.
Should model. You'll see that at the age of 2, they'll start pretend reading.
So can I say here that if parents are not reading, then would that have a direct impact on the child?
Absolutely. You see, Pavan. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It
So
happens.
then I have another question for you here. At least to the specific of Chief School parents, what is it that you, in capacities of English HOD, and if you can have some sessions for parents to role model this reading skills, then what can be done?
I was waiting for that, Pavan. I was
Okay.
waiting for you to say that. In fact, for our parents, I'm always there. And I mean, we will plan out a good workshop for them.
Right.
Let them come and then we will share ideas. I mean, these parents who already read, there are a lot of students who also read in our school.
So
Very good.
I'm sorry, I'll pause you here because we're going live here, and because this is for everybody on the school page and my personal page here. On both these pages, I want the audience to just comment workshop. So what we're going to do is for anybody who comments the word workshop under this particular live, even if you're not an achieved parent, but if you really want to understand how we can role model this for the next generation to get into good English, then let's welcome everyone. Why not? Why should
We are
this be
actually
restricted
waiting
only
for
for
it,
it?
Pavan. Our teachers are equipped to do workshops.
Right.
They have enough strategies and ideas to share. Let the parents come. We're always there for them. And then we'll have workshops and then we'll share all our ideas with them.
Right.
so that they can help. See, what happens is home and school connection is very, very important. So both teachers and parents should work hand in hand for the development of the student. It's very, very important. So immensely important. I would say urgently important also. So maybe and one more thing is parents should trust teachers. Teachers should trust parents. Trust between these two communities is what will help the child prosper. So please come, and then we are here, and we love to do workshops, and we will give you ideas, and we will share ideas with each other so that we can make our students, the best. They're already very good at so many other things.
I have another question at this stage. Do you have your personal library at home?
Yes, Pavan. My husband is a person who, I think he lives to read.
Okay.
So he keeps.
So it's a
reading.
family of readers. Everybody is reading.
Yes, all of us read.
Everybody.
Now I don't read. Any of those kind of books. I read books where how to spread. How to instill creative ideas in students. How to write a letter. How to write. How to teach the process of writing.
Right.
So I'm into those kind of things, and I research like crazy.
What drives you to do this at this stage of life? Where is your curiosity coming from? And why do you go beyond what you have to do? I've seen you really do that, especially at Achieve. You do not limit yourself for English only. I've never seen you limit yourself for English only. So this is beyond flawless English. What drives you to do what you're doing?
For me, I love students, and I always feel that teachers are very powerful, very powerful. And whatever we can give the student, we have to give it before they leave the folds of the school. After this, it's going to be a journey of self-research, a journey of introspection, all that for them. Because after this, nobody's going to be like a school teacher for them. So at school, this is the best place where a teacher can give her best to every student, and that satisfaction, even by this, I'm speaking that I feel so excited. That satisfaction is something you can't equate with anything. When the students come back and tell me, ma'am, I don't think anybody can teach like you, even in college or these school students also come back and tell. So it is not that your ego is appeased, but somewhere you feel, okay, I've done my duty well. That is what the teacher is expected to do, right?
I'm also getting some text messages. One of my friend who's watching this live is asking, can he attend one of your English classes?
Absolutely, I'll be excited.
to the social media team, that
yes.
you got to announce.
One day he can attend.
you got to announce some English classes by Kalpagam, and even parents can come and say, I think we should really have one or two sessions of English classes and then take it forward. Let them see how English is being
I really
done.
appreciate this person. He must be an English buff like me. Must be.
Lovely. One question. What about parents who do not read at home? We know that there is going to be an impact. Now, should we as a school hold the child after school hours and get them to at least read for twice or thrice a day for half an hour or 45 minutes, and then take this forward? We also have a very beautiful library.
Yeah.
I really don't know if the team can stream the pictures of the kind of library that we have. We've really invested a lot. And I would like to go public and tell that at least for the students of Achieve at this point of time, if anybody wants to stay back after the school or before the school, we will make arrangements to keep that space open so that you can use, we've spent almost 3.5 classrooms only for the library. Yeah. So, again, sorry, I just mixed up two things.
That's okay.
One was giving the message to all the Achieve students that you can stay back in the library. But my bigger question, what is to be done for parents who don't read at home?
I think we should educate the parent. Maybe we should call them to a library, get them to read books.
Right.
And then also, like how I told you, they need not read. They can, model reading in a very different way. Newspaper, you sit and read.
Right.
Your student. Only thing is, ask your child to sit with you for that 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Don't make it half an hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. No, not more than that. Not more than, say, 8 to 10 minutes. Their attention span is only that much. That is for the reluctant readers. Otherwise, you give them the book the whole day, they'll spend.
They slowly have to keep
Yes,
increasing. It's more of a habit and a practice.
And watching TV is not bad.
Mhm.
You can watch serials in English. You can
Mhm.
watch. See, when we were in college, we used to go to a place called USIS. Now I think you get your visa for US there.
Mm.
It was a USIS library.
Mm.
I'm talking about 1979. Mm.
Okay.
You have to go back on the time machine.
Mhm.
So I had a lecturer called Mrs. Ramurthy.
Mhm.
She had one Padmini premier Padmini in those days, old
The Fiat.
car, Fiat, old car.
Mm.
And she had some students who were very, very, close to her. I mean, she liked, one of them was me. So she used to take us to the USIS library, because she had a car. Husband was in a very big post there. There we had this, radio stations, and then we had this plug and play.
Mm.
79
is what you said. Yeah.
79. So she used to put on Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, Robert Redford, those kind of CDs,
Right.
and then she'd make us listen. So
Mm.
the parent can do that. They can podcasts. There are so many podcasts. That will help them get some nice podcasts.
I think one session for all the parents and any adult, not just Achieve School parents, but any adult who really wants to role model your child, whether you're reading at home or not reading at home, most welcome. I think we should soon organize one session, at least for the set of parents who are extremely keen on getting their child to have the influence of being, passed on to that kind of. I always have seen communication, especially me being a communication trainer, focusing so much on communication. The biggest asset is the legacy of mindset and language that
Yes.
a generation passes it on to the next generation.
Yes.
No amount of assets are useful if the next generation does not know how to think. Right?
We'll
No.
touch a generation, Pavan. If we ask the parent to come and we help them,
Yep.
I think we'll be touching a whole generation. So that will be a good idea.
I have some more questions. This is again by, I'm guessing, a school parent. Most students are disinterested in library hour.
We are looking at making the library hour a little more creative and more of fun. See, they want to draw, they want to sketch. So we must give them that
Space.
space. We are looking at that, and we are coming up with a lot of programs that way.
Right.
I also noticed that they're reluctant to read.
Mhm.
So slowly we are doing something for that also.
You have my full support on all the initiatives that you're going to take. I would like to join. I've become more of a video course watcher now than the reader that I was. So that's another story for another day. Some schools don't have good books.
No, that's a very difficult
question. Yeah. At this stage, Achieve, we have good books.
Here,
And if any child needs any book that needs to be added to the library, they just have to, drop the name of the book. And if we think if it fits our library, then the book is there in the library. And we also, especially me coming from the side of the management, if I wear that hat, we've already informed our librarian Kyle that every month she can spend up to 8,000 to 10,000 rupees. Officially, this has been documented, and she can keep procuring books.
She's buying books
For the library. In fact, I noticed we're trying even to build some space for Sanskrit books. Recently, they put up that particular space. There's one more question that's coming. Okay. What hacks can I get from Kalpagam for my child to speak flawless English?
Please ask him to come. I'll share a lot of hacks with him.
Okay, so the response is you got to come and then we will share it.
Yes, please.
I really like that.
I'm available. I love to do that.
Uh-huh.
And I will share all the tricks and tips with you.
Lovely. So before we move towards our closing comments, Kalpana, one of the major challenges is internal motivation for the child to be interested? Now, we've spoken a lot about role modeling. You had external influences for
Yes.
your English to be flawless. What's your take on internal motivation? How do you get the child to be motivated?
Internal, one starts with an external one only. Bob.
Mhm.
When externally, you give the environment, the reading environment, when, the student goes about seeing the others reading, uh, only then will they be motivated, because it is very dormant. You don't know that you have this kind of thing within you. There should be someone like you, I didn't know that I would talk in front of a camera like that. I needed someone. You should like go you. And watch how smooth and confident you were. It is good. Watch this entire interview. You will know. Unless you tell us that you were a little scared or whatever you were, so that there is nothing. It's an amazing. Because I knew you were there. I told Sushma also. I said, Pavan is there. I'll talk. I have no issues. See, that is the kind of effect the teacher should have. I knew you were there, so I knew I would be confident. I said, Maro Goli Sabko, I will talk. So, see the effect you've had on me. This is the kind of effect a teacher should have on a student. See, I wouldn't expect too much from the parents. Right. Only that to be closer to us, to come and find out what they can do, and guide. Little bit guide the student and help. Right. Otherwise, I think we as teachers, even in our chief especially, we take it on us only. Mostly, we take it on us, and whatever has to be done, we do here in school. But we would love if the parents would come forward and hold our hands and walk with us. Absolutely. We at Achieve recently even made Duolingo an English LSRW app. There's no W, but it definitely has LSR, that is listening, speaking, and good amount of reading. And this is backed by AI, and I'm very happy that AI is not just grading answers, but AI is assessing answers now. I think there's a huge difference in grading answers and assessing answers. In grading answers, it's just giving you the mark, yes, which I feel is not of great use. Yes. And assessing answers and then customizing the next learning plan by that. So, where do you think this is going? How can this help us achieve flawless English? At Achieve, I know we've even got a bit of 10% backlash by some parents saying, why is this compulsory? Screen time, so many questions that is coming through. But if I see the kind of shift that it can give, people, I'm not an investor in Duolingo, but I'm still promoting it because it has a massive vision where any child with an internet, or forget child, anybody with an internet and who has the urge to learn any language in the world, they can just learn. So where do you think this is going to go, and how do you think people should leverage it? AI is slowly seeped in, and there is going to be a time when it will have its clutches on all of us. That is for sure. And only off late, I even accept it. All these days, I didn't. So when you're using AI, or when you're using ChatGPT or whatever is there, I feel that immediately, don't go and ask ChatGPT the question, how can I write this? You write first and write a draft. And then ask ChatGPT to clean it up for you and give it. That itself is a learning. That editing itself will help you. Instead of saying, no, I won't use ChatGPT, it's not good. As a teacher, I would say, no, don't use. But times are so advanced that you'll be a backward person if you don't let the students, and especially the students, they're not going to they will teach us if we don't. They don't like with my gray hair and this one. I have to be very contemporary. So what I tell them is, right, don't go immediately and give the question and ask ChatGPT. Then what is happening? You're killing your critical thinking. Correct. So you write whatever you write, and when you post it there and ask for its suggestion, then it will read your mood, your tone, your voice, and mend it according to that. That I think will help. That is okay. And coming to Duolingo, now recently also, they say that Indians all over the world are doing well because they can speak more than two languages. Yes. So now if Duolingo comes in, maybe they can speak more than 5 languages. And
Absolutely.
you see them, they speak Korean. My granddaughter picked up Korean from Duolingo, and they're picking up. But only
Right.
thing is, it should be used very sparsely, so that you don't get to become an addict. Like how I said, you just
Yep.
ask. I'm not going to write. Ask ChatGPT. So instead of that, you can do a lot. I mean, yourself, and then get it cleaned up.
To all adults out there, Kalpagam is our walking and talking book and streams of knowledge in the school. Achieve is privileged to have her here, no doubts about that part. And if I have to summarize what we started with and where we are, reaching a point of conclusion, the first thing that I picked up is parents have to role model for flawless English, and adults in the house have to read, and then children have to be asked to read, or there has to be a system in place. And do not expect your quality time to be something else and then expect flawless English from them. And anybody can learn anything at this point of time, because the kind of internet that we have, AI should be a tool and a partner. AI should not be everything, is what Kalpagam has already hinted at this point of time. And Kalpagam has also agreed for a workshop for parents of Achieve and anybody else who is going to comment on this particular live video as workshop, as the word in the comment box, so that we will be able to track and get back to you. So these are my takeaways. I'm very happy, that I am inspired always, no doubt about that part. And I will always be envious and jealous of the kind of command that she has over the language. And
I have a long way to go still, Pavan.
so thank you so much, Kalpagam. That is my learning from today's session. I would leave uh, you to have the space for the closing comments on this particular, the live session that we both had on flawless English. Over to you.
First thing, I would like to thank you, Pavan, because I didn't know. It took me. I'm 66 now, 67 running. It took me
You're
so
just
many.
66.
Yes, just
Yeah.
it took so many years. I think you people did not allow me to grow up at all. It took me so long to understand that sitting before the camera and talking is not going to be so difficult. I was a little shaky in the morning. And one more thing I would like to say is at Achieve, we are all the teachers, not only me, all the teachers are ready to help the parents with whatever concerns they have regarding the students' reading, writing, speaking. We're always there for you. Please come. And like how he said, please comment, workshop, and we will organize something for you. Because home and school connection is very, very important. And we at Achieve believe in taking it forward always.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
this lovely
Saturday
session.
evening, coming up, joining us. Thank you.
Thank you for this flawless English. I'm absolutely happy that I had this particular session. And if you did so, then go ahead and share this live video with your people so that you become the motivation and the inspiration for a child who you have not met, but who's going to be role modeled or being influenced by a person who has this kind of an influence on the language English. Thank you so much. See you, everyone. Take care and bye.